My therapeutic session was now coming to an end. This was not how I looked forward to it ending. I had hoped that my therapist would have stayed longer so that he could help me get through my life. But I would ask, who in the world does not want to grow spiritually, emotionally, financially, socially, or even morally? We all want to move to the next level in our lives. Otherwise, we might end up being stuck in the same place for the rest of our lives. I walked toward the office with a heavy heart, knowing that this was probably the last time I would be seeing him. Only God knew when I would get such an opportunity again. I had a gift for him and a bunch of flowers. "Tony, how are you holding up?" he asked upon seeing me at the door. He explained why he didn't want to ask me how I was doing, since he was more than certain I was not doing quite well. I didn't know what to say. A wave of strange silence came between us. I gave him the gift and the flowers. "I'm not going to ask you about the gift, but why the flowers?" he asked. After how he had taught me how to handle questions, I was more than ready for this one. I could even explain to him all the kind of flowers I was aware of in the world and which were to be given on which occasion. But we didn't have time for all that. "Well, you've been good to me." And I came across a story that said most men get their flowers on their burial day, so you can have some, at least while you still can smell them. "Can you go and tell the receptionist the kind of last meal you want us to have? The meal of your choice." "But I—" "Now," he interrupted. I turned and walked out of the office immediately. I knew what he was avoiding. I left him holding the flowers, pretending that he was examining them, but deep down, I knew he was avoiding the tears that were threatening to fall. I closed the door and walked to the receptionist. We had a talk about the meal I wanted to have, then I walked back to the office. He was settled when I walked in. We had a short talk, then I recalled a conversation I had with a friend of mine. It reminded me of my first calculus lecture in campus. The lecturer, Dr. Kirimi, had taught us that if we wanted to be successful in life, we must be willing to be far from home. He argued that was the best way to get respect, grow as a person, and so much more that I could not possibly remember at that moment. To be sincere, that was the same thing I had always thought about. I wanted to be far from home. That is not to say I hated home, but a part of me wanted to be far away from home. I thought that was the best way to grow as a man. And if there was such a debate, I can assure you, we could have made it to the international level. I had done my research very well, but I had only looked at it from one angle, and now I wanted to know what his thought was about it. "Any last question or clarification that you need in person for the last time?" he asked. "Home or away?" I asked. "What do you mean, home or away? I don't follow," he replied. "Where is better for a person to develop as a person, at home or far away?" I asked. He was silent for a moment. I believe he was looking for the best way to start in a way that I could understand beyond a doubt. That is an insightful question, and the answer really depends on you, your goals, your values, and what kind of environment helps you grow. Both staying at home and going far can offer unique opportunities and challenges for personal development. What's important is understanding what you are hoping to gain, the kind of support or experience that you need along the way. Both have advantages and disadvantages. If you decide to stay at home, it means that you have the comfort of family, friends, and familiar surrounding. It means there are costs you won't incur, like rent and transport. The culture, and tradition can provide you with a strong foundation for growth. On the flip side, staying at home can slow your growth if you are always in your comfort zone. You might be confined by family expectations and societal pressure, and you may have fewer opportunities that challenge your thinking if you're not careful. On the other side, being far from home has its advantages too. Number one, you are pushed from your comfort zone, and that sparks faster personal growth. Number two, you broaden your perspective since you encounter different cultures, ideas, and people. Number three, you learn independence, resilience, and how to solve problems in real life situations. It can also help you discover strength you didn't know you had. On the downside, it can be lonely at times. There may be some financial challenges, and the mistakes someone makes may feel harder to manage. He replied. Is that all there is? I asked him. We were used to each other, and I knew he could not take that statement as rude. There is so much more to it. I have just given you an overview of what you need to know. The rest you can only learn after you decide which route you want to take, he replied. Which direction do you think I should take? I asked him. According to my goals, I knew for a fact that staying at home was not going to help me grow. The comfort might have made me complacent. I was just trying to get him to justify what I had in mind. He must have noted that. Well, I can only tell you one thing, he replied. Which is? I asked. I was patiently waiting for him to say it with his own mouth. I really appreciate it, but never buy me another bunch of flowers.